Hi guys, welcome back. My god, it's been a stupidly busy weekend. Well, first of all, look what just turned up, delivered to my door. Nice guy, nice company. These guys here, I believe. Yes, Rambo Recovery, great guys. I like people who don't mess around. I like people who just say, alright mate, I'm on my way, and I'll turn up. And then actually this guy was so professional that he was worried that I didn't look at it enough. And I kept saying to him, don't worry mate, I'm going to go over the bike from top to bottom. So really lovely guy. Guys, I paid 490 quid for this delivered to the door. And I know it starts up because he showed me. So I've got a 400cc Suzuki Bandit, which I like these bikes, I love Bandits. That needs a small amount of work. So just at first glance, the bits of work I see, paint's not good. So I think lots of the back panel will need a coat of shiny black. The odd scratch here, I think my stuff will polish a lot of that off. Small dent here. Now I think for the first time I will try a dent puller. I think I'll try a glue dent puller on that and pop it out, because I don't know how easy it is to get through. Tyres are brand new, loads of tread, and it came down on this side fairly gently a couple of days ago. So we see the back brake here, that snapped, but you can buy ones that bolt in. In fact, it is actually here, so there could be, I'm sure you can buy these where they bolt through the back, so that's what I'll be looking for. Otherwise it actually works. And the front brake lever is very slightly bent. He kind of talked to me a lot about this bent lever, but honestly I expected it to be worse than that. I don't even know if I'm going to change that, because I'll be selling, when I paid $5 for it, I'll be selling it dirt cheap. So yeah, so let's have a very quick, I've got all my hands full, right, 2 keys. Let's have a very quick look over this bike. Let's see what we need. I actually have to shoot off. I've got to meet I forgot his name, is it Nick, about the Suzuki SV 650. I've got to go and get that in a minute, hence the extremely busy weekend. I'm just digging in my pocket now for the key. Where is the key? There it is. So let's just kind of fire it up and hear it at first glance. 22,000 miles, that's nothing. Started up first time, no mad smoke from the exhaust, and I've no doubt it will just run and ride properly. Let's check all the lights. Front brake light, did that come on? Yes. Rear, that came on as well. Front, where are we? Front light, it doesn't have a switch, that's interesting. So front light should be on now. Let's see if the high beam was, okay, it needs a bulb. That's absolutely easy enough. Let's go indicators, left, front and back on. Let's go right. Obviously that's been gaffer taped up, easily get a new setup then. Back one's working. The bike has 7 months horn works. Yeah, I mean, I've just paid 490 quid delivered to the door. Slight scuffing down here, but no leakage, so that's absolutely fine. That's no issues at all. This bike dropped only a couple of days ago, so I'm just looking at the oil. The oil is extremely low. Yep, that needs topping up. I'll sort that out. But apart from that, this bike's going to clean up really well, I think. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. So that's an absolute steal today, you guys. Absolute steal. I'm going to drive that up to my garage, see if it selects gears and stuff, and then that'll be a project for next week. Seals look good. No issues at all. And then I'm off on the train to go and pick up this Suzuki SV 650. Just to catch people up, this morning I sold the Sontes at full price for £750, and yesterday I sold the Suzuki Bandit at £1,100. So guys, first test ride. The bike rides very well, no issues at all. So it will be just kind of the polishing up of this bike and just making it kind of work more. And someone's going to get an absolute steal, because this is going to be maybe £850 and it's an A2 compliant 400cc Suzuki Bandit. So that's great. I'm off on the train now. I'm off to buy this next Suzuki Bandit. I'm gutted it's not on Saturday, because I would have worked on both of them on a Sunday. But it gives me a week to consider ideas and to buy parts for these bikes. So that's always good. So I'll catch you guys up when I get to the Suzuki SV. Okay guys, so I've done the underground to Hendon Central, which wasn't that far, and I should know that. I was routed through a graveyard, which was interesting. And now I'm walking down some weird back side street. And these are the kind of trips you do when collecting bikes like this. The ride back shouldn't take too long at all. I'm really not that far. Now on this particular bike, it's insured. That means I'm insured because I'm insured on my other bikes. But you would have to consider how you do a trip like this. Would you, ideally you'd get the bike delivered to you, or you'd insure it before you leave. But if you were turning it over as quick as I am, then there's no point doing that. You'd waste £200 just for getting it insured and then cancelling it. So you'd have to think about stuff like that. I got one bike delivered this morning, and I'm collecting this bike because it is still insured and it is taxed, and we've agreed not to do the not to necessarily do the change of ownership until I'm back. Although to be fair, even if I did the change of ownership now, that it would take the system 20 minutes, half an hour to kind of catch up, so there's no concerns there. But yes, this is the kind of trips you do to find the right bikes. Now so far I don't know what's wrong with this bike. Apparently something to do with the exhaust. I think there's just a blow in it, but I have a feeling that you can't screw it on properly, so I think the lug might have snapped. So I've been thinking about this already, and you can go down the whole liquid metal route, JB weld and stuff, or you can put some real weld on. But until I get, to the bike and see it, I don't have a clue as to what I'm looking at. One thing I would do with this bike is I'd street fighter it properly, take away that front fairing, because that front fairing's ugly, basically. But I'm going to catch up, meet the guy Alex, and then we'll see, have a quick look around the bike, pay up, and I'll try and get it home. Here we go guys, here's the bike, Suzuki SV 650. This is where, if you were a proper wheeler dealer, you'd go over the bike before Alex came out. But I've been chatting with Alex, and I know it needs bits and pieces. There's not much I wouldn't take on, especially as it's going to drive me home. So far, it's in better condition than I expected. So yeah, Alex is round the corner, so you'd get a quick look around the bike now, and if anything really kind of caused you any concerns, that's when you'd think, what should I do? So I can see the exhaust does have its issues, but so far it's not terrible. Everything else looks alright, and the fairings look quite good. It'd probably be best to keep this as a fairing bike. So I've got the bike guys, here it is. I've bought off Alex before, I didn't even realise. I bought the Phaser 600 off him, again that had exhaust problems. I've come to realise Alex hates exhausts. But yeah, we'll look at this exhaust. It is solid, it's just blowing a bit. It could be packed out, could be welded, could be anything. And then the bike just needs a good clean, a real good clean. And it's got a few months MOT left. Someone could get a really nice cheap bike here. He's only selling it because he just can't be bothered selling it cheap, basically, because he can't be bothered advertising it, which is absolutely fair enough. So this is going to be a nice cheap bike for someone, guys, in a week or two, so keep your eyes out. So hi guys, welcome back. I've done most of the ride now. I thought I've come to the nearest jet wash. I thought it makes sense while I'm insured and legally allowed to ride this bike, get it under the jet wash, get a lot of this crud and crap off, and you know, just get it sparkling a bit, because my cutting compound will bring everything back to a nice shine. It rides beautifully. There's no issues with riding at all. It pulls like a train. The headers aren't even leaking, so I don't even know what I'm going to do with the headers yet. I'm just not sure. They're not that bad. So let's see. I'm going to give it a quick jet wash. I am still considering drilling and adding bar ends to then street fighter this, but is that more effort than it's worth when this bike's in fairly good nick? I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to give it a quick jet wash. So that was a quick pre-wash. Pre-wash just uses a bit of soap as well, should help it out. I'm going to wait a few seconds and then hit it with the higher pressure wash. So here we go, guys. I'm back. The S3 rode really well, and I took it to the jet wash, gave it a bit of a clean up. It looks great, it rides great. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. Thanks Alex for giving me this bike. You practically donated it at £500, so I don't want to make much money or any money on this one. I don't really want to make, so I might put 2 to 250 into this bike and then set it on for 750, so that someone's just got a nice fully serviced bike. I'll check if this is ultra low emissions free. Otherwise that is something I could consider doing, taking this to the guys and getting them to make this compliant as well. At least then in October 21, or even now if you're going into central London, you'll be allowed to do that without the £12.50 daily fee. So, considering on this bike, what am I considering? I'm considering converting the top yokes to carry, I don't know what you call them, but to carry the bolts to put on kind of Renthal style bars. Now if I do that, I will have to somehow drop the forks to take off the rest of the switchgear, but that could be okay. There's a bolt there, so it's going to be a drop in the forks, sliding them out, putting the forks back up and putting them back on, and then the other part would be drilling into here, drilling and bolting the retainers on there. Then you'd lose all the front fairing completely, and the light and the frame to lighten the bike up, and you'd have to put a new clock on, which is fine. You'd lose the rev. You don't need the rev anymore. You can just block that off, the rev counter. And we all know the mileage, it's 32 or something. Hang on, let's check. 32 roughly. Where is it? 36,400. So yeah, so I'm going to consider that. I'm going to look into that. The chain is extremely loose. There, look at that, crazy. And that's on a bit of load, so that's no good. I'll tighten that, and that's it. Actually, the bike runs and rides very well. I'm not going to worry too much about this one. It's got some MOT, although only 2 months. Oh yes, brake pads all round. We can't see them, but Alex said they were quite short, so I think a full set of fronts, and the back's a bit juddery anyway. Oh no, they're brand new. Back brakes are practically brand new. So a brake service, I'm guessing. A brake service. Yeah. The other thing you can consider is a end pipe for this, but I don't know. Sometimes I like these quieter end pipes because you can drive a bit faster and the police take less notice. So that's kind of this S3, which rides and runs great, and I could sell tomorrow anyway. Here, the Bandit. The back panel needs respraying in places. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. I'm probably going to pop off the rear fairings and spray the whole thing with gloss black. I think it'll be quite awkward matching patches here, and I weren't sure if this was a sticker. No, look, that is paint peel. So that needs to be done properly and can be done properly, there's no issue there. Rear number plate's a bit large. I think someone wanted this extra piece added. I think it was probably bikes and scooters to fail. Rubbish, I'll get a smaller one of them, bolt it on, make it sit in there nicely. And a service, remember it's very low on oil. Oh no, hang on. These are weird bikes. When you run them, it takes them a long time for the oil to settle again. Alright, that oil actually looks fine. Air filter, definitely I'll check the air filter. But remember, this bike starts, runs and rides. If you can get the key to turn. Oh yes, this little dent. This little dent here. I wonder, I'm going to think about getting, first of all, yeah, I can't get anything in there. First of all, maybe a suction cup. Maybe you can get small ones. Otherwise, I'll get the glue kit, see if I can pop that out. I have no idea how easy or hard that is to do. And then this bike will be a very quick turnaround. Should be around £1,000. So yeah, that's it for today. So busy, so busy. I love the Bandit actually. Yeah, stunning bike. Alright guys, let me know, write to me, let me know kind of what you would do with these bikes, what your thoughts are. I think with these two I can turn around enough to then do a bike that I'll be giving away. It will probably be a 125, but I'm going to do some sort of bike giveaway at some point. So yeah, thanks once again Alex for this one. This one's great, it rides very well, it got me back easily and someone's going to love it. And we're just going to basically service it for them for free, and it'll be a cheap bike that's got another year left in it at least. So, I'm not meant to be starting this today, this is meant to be next week's project, but I just want a little look at these headers to see what's going on. If we get close in, this is what we're looking at. Normally you'd have a bolt on there, here. This is definitely a thread, I can see a thread. Now anything above that, I don't know what's going on. Oh, let me get that focused. So, I want to, sorry that focus is terrible. So I want to see, I'm going to clean it up a bit and see what's going on under there. I can't see if there's a bolt under there, I can't see if it's been welded, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on there. I can't tell at all. I feel like it's all maybe welded together, or the other side looks a bit better, but still not usable. I don't know what's happened there. It's not necessarily leaking air at this stage, it's just it needs a new bracket ideally for the long term. I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm not sure what would happen here. I feel like there's weld in there, and if there's weld in there, that just causes a whole world of problems for me, because even if you snapped it off here or anything, bolted it off here, you can't get onto the bolt that's in there, and you'd end up having to mess around with drilling the bolt out and stuff. all for a bracket that's not necessarily needed. Alright, I'm gonna have a think about this one. Okay guys, I've been looking at this and cleaning away. I found the biggest issue. Biggest issue is the pipe itself is rock solid, that's fine. An air leak is coming from up here. Now look, you see this is snapped. That should come all the way around there. I didn't even notice that at first. The only way to remedy that would be to change the head. So I'm going to remedy it using one of the best tools in the business, JB Weld steel stick. Now JB Weld itself, the 2-part mixture, is brilliant. This stick is just as good. I'm going to be cramming it up into the space here and all the way around the back, and I'll be doing some back here as well. That's going to do two things. It's going to make sure this pipe stays secure, as always, because it is secure anyway. And secondly, it's going to block that leak. This stuff is rock solid. Absolutely strong. So it really does kind of work well. And it's high temperature and so on. So it's not really a bodge fix, because in the long run, someone can fix this. But this will keep the bike on the road for another few years, because the pipe itself is not in bad condition. I need to get a clamp for the pipe down there, but that's no biggie. Yes, so what you do with this stuff is you knead it for a couple of minutes. You put it into the areas you want. I know exactly where they are. And then basically leave it alone, let it set. Next time you come to the bike, it won't, it will have done its thing. I've cleaned the area with brake cleaner. That way there's no liquids, there's nothing kind of left there. The brake cleaner cleans away all chemicals and stuff, and all oils. So this should stick perfectly. It comes like this. You've got to knead it for a couple of minutes till it's one consistent colour. I'm not going to knead it up here because my arms will fall off. You've got to kind of get it into the area and thin it out, because it has to stick. The first part has to actually stick. That's the most important bit. Then you can thicken it all up as you need to another time. That's it. So see, I've got the first bit on there, then I'm going to use some extra and just thicken it up. Push it right to the top. And I have no doubt now that that's going to be a long-term repair. No doubt at all. No air was escaping from this side, so that's fine. Yes, I'm going to leave that, let it set, and I may top it up tomorrow just to make sure it's kind of double sealed. But I think that's absolutely fine. That's doing the job we want it to do. And now I actually am going to go home. I wasn't meant to be doing any recording today, but you know, I've got two bikes that I like, and sometimes I just can't help myself. We're just checking the putty on the exhaust, guys. So Rabjab's taking it for a spin. He's not used to bigger bikes. He rides his little 125, but I let him ride as much as he wants on my bikes. It's always good to practice. Any bikes you're allowed to try, go out and try them. Where's he gone? I can't hear the exhaust leak anymore. I think it's sorted.